My name is Beverly, and I really want to have a series of chats about. Would like to share my story. Always wanted to. And tonight I want to start by sharing that I am actually Trinidad born. I born in Trinidad, but at the tender age of 9 months, I was sent on a holiday to Venezuela to my grandmother who then lived in Venezuela. She was a trainee, but actually grew up all her life in Venezuela. Um, so basically, I didn't have any cultural upbringing or any culture in me about Trinidad. At that tender age, going to Venezuela on holiday, and my grandma decided to keep me together with my other sister. We remained there growing up with my grandmother. Venezuela, then, the Venezuela that I know and believe that still, when it comes to the landscape, it's still a beautiful place. I am talking about when I got to really know myself. We're talking about the 70s. Um, Growing up there, my grandmother was very peculiar in that we grew up at home speaking English, so called English, must I say, because that English was really, really broken. And but it was our native language. But growing up in Venezuela, we actually spoke total Spanish all the time. So Spanish was spoken to us when we were outside playing with our friends, when we go in our neighborhood, but English was totally at home. As a matter of fact, if we were caught, my sister and I, speaking Spanish at home, we were punished. My grandmother was very strict. So she actually punished us when we spoke Spanish at home. English was a must. By the time we grew up, say getting to the age of 9, 10, I remember clearly she traveled to Trinidad and she bought us the West Indian Readers. And from that book is where we started to actually learn to the ABC in English. We learn the three letters word like B, ba, at, bat. And we continue learning through that book to actually read a few words in English. So, but the Spanish was our mother tongue. That was our first language. English then, although was my native language, became my second language. And my first language was Spanish. But having the cultural look of a tree, life was not about to get easier in any way. And she was of the firm belief that we needed to be educated in the Catholic ways. So we was placed in the convent. Although you may read in books about convent, um, it's real. It's real. I personally would have a different experience than my sister. Why? Because, well, first of all, my sister is very fair, um, very fair, neither but fair, with kind of blonde hair, and I dark, very dark. And Growing up in a Spanish country, though they are not per se racial, the convent had its own culture in that the black and the poor was treated differently than the people who were fair. So my memories of convent growing up as a child, it was dorms, we had dormitories, we all had endless bed to sleep on because when that convent had at least 50 to 60 girls, all age range. And we are talking about convent at the age of primary school. So we enter convent from infant class all the way to when you reach standard 5 or so. So you're leaving primary school to enter secondary school, or what we call college. And growing up with nuns, that's why series of it. Growing up with nuns was an experience of my life in that, yes, they taught us a lot of discipline. You were taught how to behave like a young lady. So when somebody said you have a convent walk, yes, back in those days you were taught the convent walk. You had your time for dinner, you had your time for lunch, you had your time for breakfast, was taught to you. So hence now as a teacher, I always tell my students, school indoctrinates you. Because basically, when you leave convent, you knew nothing else that at 6 o'clock was dinner. No eating after certain hours. That knife and fork was the only two tools you needed to eat anything else. That's sitting down at the table with your back straight, your hands, your elbow not on the table, and these things we learn at convent. So hence, back in those days, if a man really wants to marry a decent woman, he will go to a convent and get a convent girl because that was just the right thing to do. Um, but those was my early years. The nuns, um, I was like a charity, you could say. But then you had the charity, the poor, that they would have separate convents to help some poor person. When everybody was allowed to rest and sleep, we had to stay up until and then come in. So yes, there was a lot of discrimination. But above it all, you know, you went to school, you learned, you were intelligent. And those were my early years at in private school. At the school, the convent was Nuestra Señora de Lourdes. Nuestra Señora de Lourdes, Our Ladies of Lourdes. And I learned all the catechism. I was the best religious student in the school. If there was ever a gift to be given catechism, I was going to get that gift. One is because I questioned everything. Everything I questioned. And curiosity took the better half of me. Did everything Catholic, from baptism, confirmation, you name it, we did it. Um, if I'm a Catholic now, no, I'm not a practicing Catholic because the kind of things you saw and you learn while there kept me away from the faith, basically. But I'm not going to dedicate time to talk about religion. One, I am very grateful for my great upbringing in the Catholic convent. I'm very grateful for the nuns, and I'm very grateful for those training of my life. And until I moved to secondary school, which will be our next year.